Let's have some fun. I hope, inshallah. And welcome back to the Dean Obeidallah Show. Friday, February 6th, third hour. It's time for What Just Happened as we look back at the insanity of the week, and I can't take it. It's killing me every week. It's aging the crap out of me. We have two, maybe three people to help us make sense of it. We'll see how we'll play our cards. If a third person might join us. Amel Khalil is back, an actress. She's been in New Amsterdam, A City on Fire. She was on the Showtime series Super Pumped, and she does some comedy on occasion. And I've known her for a while. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you. Thank you for having me back.
Sure. And look who else is back. V Spehar back. Award-winning digital journalist, TikTok personality, podcaster, Under the Desk News, has more than 1 billion followers at this point, like 1.5 billion. He's got more than 5 million followers. But just say, if you were Trump, you'd be like, he's got 5 billion.
It's a billion views. I should go off views, and then I would have 1 billion views.
Oh my God, you would, because you have over. I was just looking, you have more than 5 million on and you're on Substack now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're just slumming on Substack because you're huge on. I like Substack. That's where I am. I live there. I mean, here and there, there's two places. But good to see you. So let's talk about ICE. Ugh. I think it's interesting. But this has been a week where ICE has been getting punched in the face by different people, including professional wrestling. When you've lost professional wrestling, it's not the big one. It's the competitor WWE. It's called AEW Dynamite in Las Vegas. It was a big match. I'm sure you guys watched. It was Brody King versus Maxwell Jacob Friedman, known as MJF.
Well, tough one, MJF. Main guys. This was a big fight. So
this is a big fight. I don't know anything about these people.
So AEW,
so V knows.
That's for the real fans.
They started chanting F ICE, which is weird because the wrestlers. I mean, this is like fake wrestling, fake sports, but even there, like real life intersected. And I'm not mocking them. There is there's athleticism involved because they would get very badly hurt if there wasn't. But so V, considering you appear to be a fan of the AEW Dynamite, what is going on here?
Well, they're not under Vince McMahon's thumb. That's the thing. So a lot of the folks who made AEW came from the WWE, WWF world, and it was because they were so frustrated with Vince McMahon and the politics and the rampant sex abuse allegedly that was going on over there, and so they created this new one. So I think real wrestling fans, they're the AEW fans, and they're sick of it. They don't want to see government overreach. These are the type of guys who would stick up for you in a bar fight. And I think they're real deal entertainers and really good people. So I was glad to hear F-Ice chanting at AEW and not surprised because they're on the right side of history for sure.
That's very interesting. So I'm glad you broke it down. And now we have a third guest joining us. I knew he just might appear like an apparition in Shakespeare's Othello, or was that Macbeth? It's like Macbeth. It's Alex Pearlman, comedian. He's been delighting audiences with his 3-minute rants across social media on Pearlmania 500. He's got more than 1 million followers on Instagram, more than 3 million on TikTok. He's got a podcast, Too Many Tabs, and he's here now to fight with V over who's got more followers. By the way, Alex, V's got 1 billion followers, so good luck, buddy.
Yeah, I know. Well, I wouldn't be anything without V. So V is the beginning and end of all of my origin stories when it comes to social media. So I will never fight them when it comes to who has more followers and who gets invited to more things. And V, thank you so much for texting me and going, where the hell are you?
Yeah, because get on the
thank you, V.
I was sitting downstairs watching TV, completely oblivious to the fact that
come
I didn't have
on,
this on my calendar.
I know you're big on TikTok, but this is my life, okay?
Listen,
be here.
I completely understand. I was too busy. I was on Threads screaming at people that Trump went racist last night so people wouldn't talk about the pedophilia. And he's doing the pedophilia to cover up the ICE murders. He's doing the ICE murders to cover up the crypto scams. He's doing the crypto scams to cover up the fact he's never been good at business. And all this happened because his dad never hugged him. That's where mentally I was. So I've been lost in another world here, Dean. And so to have V cut through all of that and be like, hey, just so you know, you promised to be present at something. I was like, true. This is very true. And this is how my life has ended up.
Trump is running like the Russian nesting doll of distractions.
I know.
It's like one and then another and then, oh my God, look at the baby there. It's a picture of him and Epstein and a baby. So let's go to you, my friend. We've got professional wrestling. They're chanting F-Ice. That's where we were, Alex, was the first topic.
Oh, my favorite.
AEW Dynamite in Las Vegas, MJF taking on Brody King. Boom. They start. What's weird, Amel, the wrestlers just stood there and looked around like this. And I wasn't sure if they were in on it or not. I really don't know.
So I have insider baseball on this because
let me go to Emel. Stop.
Oh, sorry.
We're going to go to ML because you were late, buddy. Okay, Promania. And then we're going to come back to you. And is that an Eagles jacket? What is that?
Yeah, it's the Eagles jacket.
Man, everyone's got their loser. I got my Giants colors on. We'll have our losers colors on. So go ahead. Emma, what is your reaction to all of this?
Well, as an actor, I would say you never make it look like you're breaking character. So these people, if they're professionals, like the people who moved over to AEW, they know not to break character. So it was either so shocking that they broke character, which I just don't see that happening, or they're prepared for anything and they know how they feel and they owned it. Like they leaned into what they really thought.
So they're ready for anything. They're ready for the jackhammer or whatever it's called, a triple jack. I don't even know what they call it. All the moves, but and they're ready for some people chanting political expressions in the middle of it, like we're ready for anything. So now Alex has got some inside stuff. Talk to us, Alex. What do you got?
So I know the referee. His name's Bryce Remsburg. He and I are close friends. I actually have done events with him. He actually got me my only professional wrestling job I ever did as a ring announcer was through Bryce. Bryce tweeted that he waited to actually ring the bell. He specifically was like, no, I hear it. We're not going to start this match until we reach the point. But the other thing to be of note, which if you watch a lot of professional wrestling, there's so many different parts that are happening. You have the commentators who are talking at the same time. You have the audience that's cheering. You have the wrestlers. You have the referee. You have the ring crew. You have production. If production wanted to, because they do it all the time, if you watch WWE and the wrong guy's getting booed or they have the wrong chants, they turn the crowd noise down or they turn it up. AEW wanted this heard. And the thing is to also know about Brody King is Brody King has a few months ago, he came out with a shirt that said abolish ICE and he sold it on a website with had money and proceeds that were going to going towards immigrant causes in Minnesota. And so he has been very open about having this, which is why the crowd chanted that specifically, because they know that Brody King is somebody who is against the actions of this administration in particular. So there's so much that's involved here. Bryce is now has a cameo, and his cameo is $20, and all of the proceeds for the next couple weeks are going to go towards immigrant services in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, because that's where he is based out of. So he's been talking to people out there. So the other counter to note about this is AEW is the competitor of WWE, which I like to call MAGA Night Raw now, because every single member of them, from Triple H, who's the head booker, to TKO, to the McMahons themselves, are all integral parts of the Trump White House and have also been pushing Trump propaganda. They had RFK Jr. and a bunch of other Trump administration people were at the last match of John Cena. You've seen Triple H go there to do stuff on behalf of the president. Linda McMahon, Stephanie McMahon. Vince McMahon is one of the few people Trump still follows on Twitter. So there's a hardcore confluence and convergence of TKO, WWE, and UFC together. And so you're seeing the fans who do not have that political allegiance look towards companies like AEW and others. Sorry, this is one of my specialties.
The fact that this actually became a substantive conversation on this topic is beyond me, because I thought it was a silly, funny comic. And then we've got Via's insight into it. Then Alex has got sources on the inside. We're just amazed. I'm like, what is going on? This is all real. I mean, V, you apparently follow some wrestling. Is there going to be a storyline with an ICE wrestler versus someone who is off-white and they tackle them, or vice versa? Or is it going to be the revenge? Off-white? Right, because you have to be off-white for them to go after you. It's going to be someone that they turn the tables and they slam ICE.
I'd love to see it, but I don't know. I think that's more a WWE kind of shtick, and they've been doing racist shit since the very beginning. I mean, the Iron Sheik, the
Iranian guy.
That stuff I remember has always been that way for them. So I think what they did with allowing the crowd to create a space that is not, like Alex said, so manufactured as a propaganda arm for Trumpism and for all of this hate was pretty cool. I think AEW is for the people. That's what I like about them.
Interesting. I didn't ever heard of them before this. So another thing that's happened organically on Sunday at the Grammy Awards, so many artists slammed ICE, a whole bunch of them. Ones I had not heard of before. I'm like, well, they're impressive. I liked very much what they said, and Billie Eilish and Bad Bunny, of course, are well known, and others. And then it pissed off people like Shark Tank's Kevin O'Leary and aspiring white guy, Ted Cruz. And so he's Canadian.
Yeah.
He's in Marty Supreme. He's such a dick in Marty
Go back to
Supreme.
Canada. Nobody cares, Mr. Wonderful.
But what do you think about? So Emma, I'll go to you. Since you're in the business here, the entertainment business. We all are on some level, but you're really an actress in this. How do you think this could reach people who don't follow politics, who might be like, why is Bad Bunny talking about ICE? Why is Billie Eilish? Because we think everyone follows it. I just don't know if everybody follows it.
I think where I'm at is my Palestinian voice leads first. And I'm just like, oh, okay. So everybody came out the woodworks with their morals and speaking up now, because ICE is a very clear thing that is palatable and acceptable by most society in America. You don't have to humanize those people as much as you had to humanize Arabs. So even though the celebrities are speaking up, great, thanks, get the attention on, like Ariana posting one thing for anything gets millions of dollars in like 10 seconds. Great. I'm glad more celebrities are speaking up, but I think this is the safer thing to speak up about.
Interesting, putting it that way. So, V, what about you? I mean, how effective is it? And Ted Cruz, by the way, should read what he said to Netflix CEO. He said, the Grammys, you see entertainers saying nobody's illegal while we're on stolen land. Then you see entertainers leap to their feet clapping. He goes, the entertainment world is deeply corrupt for stating actual facts.
Yeah.
He's all for MAGA and everything. I mean, talk about corruption. This is all just a way that they're trying to look for something that they can create as a new enemy, because the Epstein files are so prolific in American society right now, and the way that people are really seeing through this manufactured right versus left hate that maybe QAnon was started by Epstein himself as a way to like promote Trump as this puppet.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Wait till we get to the Epstein parts.
We'll have to go to that next. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Just the amount of Epstein information.
I need to watch whatever he is doing. I'm so glad I'm on this show with you, because both of your voices, when you're talking, I'm like, oh my God, what else? What other information do you guys have? All right.
So I don't agree with like Jelly Roll saying, why should anybody care what I have to say? I think when you're an artist, a musician, an actress, anything like that, you are creating art. Art is a reflection of politics. The role of the artist is to hold power and authority to account, or to make fun of them, or to expose them. And so I think it's good that they were talking about ICE out and whatnot. But I agree, Emil, we need to see that more consistently, which is this authoritarian technocracy, AI, like gene editing bullshit that the Palantir class of people want to do is affecting humanity, and art is humanity. So I think they should all be speaking up all the time.
It's interesting. You mentioned like Jelly Roll says, why do people care what I have to say, type of thing. Meanwhile, I'm like, please listen to what I have to say. I'm begging people, please, just give me some credibility.
Why should they listen to your music then? If you have nothing to say, you have no point of view, no politics, no stake, nothing to say, then why should we listen to your music?
I agree. So let's go to Alex for the block. Alex Pearlman.
Do you want to tie it all together with the last one? Because Jelly
Roll wrestled
at WWE SummerSlam last year. He is a TKO talent who has been mixed in with all of this different stuff, specifically going to the Jelly Roll part of it all, because Jelly Roll stood up on stage and yelled that Jesus has no politics. Jesus is for everybody. Jesus. And I would like to point out that right after the Grammys, he then said that he didn't feel comfortable speaking about politics or what's going on. And what he specifically meant was the murder of Alex Pearlman. But Jelly Roll had absolutely no problem talking about a man who stormed into a religious site, flipped over tables, whipped people with belts, and was then executed by a military occupying power to silence other protesters when I'm speaking about him talking about Jesus Christ. But he had no problem saying that about Alex Pearlman. He has absolutely no problem going and preaching about a man from with an area that has so many different names, but at the time, the Levant, which is also Palestine, and all these other different things. He had absolutely no problem throwing that man's name around there. But when it came to somebody that's happening in his own backyard, he can't have any fucking say about this. He is Jelly Roll at the end of the day, and many of these guys, and we're seeing it with the entire Rogan Entertainment. Hey, bro, I'm actually just a political spear. Is they're all beginning to notice, they all get the same analytics we do. They're noticing that their audiences are slowly beginning to realize that they're fucking cowards. Every single one of them are cowards who have nothing to actually say. And because of that, I'm now slowly starting to see the break off of the ones who have been apolitical, both sides bad, everything is evil type of shit, are now slowly starting to say, well, okay, maybe Trump is actually not great. I mean, you look at Tim Scott today, you look at some of these other different ones. I'm starting to notice this more and more and more in the zeitgeist. And you're going to start to see this build as it is becoming more comfortable for people to be able to point these things out. There is a big thing that happened in the last election, which was a lot of people a lot of celebrities especially, tried to completely stay out of it. whatsoever. They felt that for whatever reason that talking about being for one candidate or the other would affect their bottom line. And so the ones that did choose to go with Trump did it the very, very last minute. When I look at somebody like Jelly Roll saying that he is staying non-political, it drives me insane because if you go through his Instagram, he has only ever taken pictures with Republicans. So it's just, it's one of those very classic, it's a saying from Fark.com back in the day, both sides are the same, so vote Republican. And that is Jelly Roll's entire Tennessee brand.
Oh, that's right.
He is the J.D. Vance of the music industries. The loser who is being used as a puppet. He's got no riz, and it feels very industry plant to me. He's got the fat shot, and all of a sudden he thinks he's like, I don't know, some kind of special
co-worker music.
And Mel, well, I mean, there was certainly a Palestinian music person we know who was silent during the whole Gaza thing, and DJ Khaled. You know, everyone talked about like, you're Palestinian. Say something. Say anything.
You know what?
Special began by talking about, F DJ Khaled.
Look, if he's in the pocket of whoever his life is on the line, I don't know what the fuck he put over, like, speaking up. But the thing that pissed me off the most was when he was on, I think it was Jimmy Fallon, and he brought maklouba, a traditional famous Palestinian dish, and he didn't even utter the word Palestine. It would have been safe. This is my Palestinian mother made this, or what. You could have just said this is a Palestinian dish. You don't even say the word. I'm triggered. Why'd you do that to me, Dean? I was chilling today. You triggered me.
Good.
This is what Dean does. This is what Dean does to all of us. We come on here, we're going to have a fun discussion, and then Dean's like, just so you know, poke, poke, poke.
I'm the Piers Morgan of SiriusXM. That's the whole thing. All I do is pit people against. I've been a Piers Morgan twice. They send you topics. That's not even what it's about. It's about he finds something that's provocative when he hears it and then just leans into it to cause controversy in the panel.
Well, what's fun about this panel is we're all violently agreeing with each other.
I know.
That's
we
who we all
want to
are.
be louder. We agree so much. We want to be louder in how much we agree. It's like, damn it, V, you know what you're saying, but you've got to go farther than that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about we'll touch on the Olympics for a quick second here because ICE is going to the Olympics.
I know.
I'm not sure if they're participating or what's going on, but I love that in Italy there was actually protests. I saw the signs, and it was like no ICE in Milano, which is obviously Italian for Milan. And I thought it was interesting. They were protesting, and one person in the Giorgia Meloni government defended it literally by saying, well, it's not like they're the SS. I'm like, when that's your defense, like you're literally saying, well, they're not the SS. Like they're Nazi light. They're not actually SS. They're just one step below. So I thought that was an actual quote. Like I'm not even making it up as one of the high ranking people. So a political article. I'm like, why do you think that was a good one? Why do you think that was a good one? So V, what do you think that the world is uniting against the US even more? I guess ICE didn't have enough Americans to terrorize or kill here. I mean, what's happening?
We don't want secret police. And also, why is the domestic immigration and enforcement officer traveling to Milan to provide security to our friggin' loser cabinet that just wants to go to the Olympics? It is another thing, just like all the events that they take the private jet to, they are using their job in government to get special VIP treatment at cultural events, whether that's the Super Bowl or this is the Olympics. This is just fun for them. This has nothing to do with their roles as political leaders, and they're not going there to do any kind of diplomacy type stuff. Something I think is interesting is each one. I covered the Olympics in Paris, and what I found so fascinating.
You went to Paris and covered it there?
And I covered the Olympics for Paris for TikTok. And what was cool is each one of the countries has like their own hospitality house. So when you're going to the events, then you have the USA house, the Singapore house, the whatever. And the USA house had named theirs Ice House, which did not have anything to do with ICE when it was named.
Sure, it's 2024.
But it was so heavily protested and people were so offended that they had to change the name to Winter House. So now it's called Winter House, which is the USA Hospitality House.
Oh, this year? Oh, I thought you meant in Paris.
No,
Ice
in
House.
Paris,
You can't call it Ice House now.
something
Come on.
Parisian.
You can't be oblivious. Like, what? I don't know when anyone was upset. The Ice House. I mean, when the Germany's, the Berlin, they had the SS House. I don't think that was a big issue, right? I'm like, you can't do the same thing there. Yeah. Alex, what do you think, my friend? ICE? I think
listen, I'm gonna push back on everyone here because we're all being too woke. You don't want ICE at the Winter Olympics. What are they supposed to skate on, everybody? No, it's insane.
Literal ICE.
It's literally everything everybody said here is completely nuts. You know how crazy this you have to be to have an Italian fascist say absolutely no secret American police in our country? Like fascism was born in Italy. They still have black shirt marches, and they're like, hey. Yeah, they're literally like, hey, keep your weird masked losers back over in Iowa. What are we doing here? Like, why are these guys getting free trips? Why is any of this stuff happening? It just drives me nuts. And I can't believe that we're trying to export this. It's insane.
Export this.
And Georgia Maloney, the prime minister, there are ties from her party to Mussolini's party. I mean,
Yes.
it actually is the connection. So you're right, where they're like, come on, we know the SS. This isn't the SS. Like, what? Whoops,
yeah, this isn't Ovra. This isn't anything else. They're like, your iconography stinks. Like, they're looking through the whole deal and they're like, this is terrible. At least, you know, with the Mussolini style fascists, they had like Riz and uniforms. ICE guys show up with shit they ordered from Amazon. They take paintballing.
So this thing's Emma. I mean, America's reputation was already tarnished. Under Trump, it's even worse. And now we're exporting ICE, and they're actually causing protests in the streets of Italy. Not huge, but still, I saw several hundred. There might be more going forward.
Yeah.
Who do you think? There's no bottom for our country. They just continue to attend.
I think, like, when Alex was talking, my thoughts were everybody's going to act accordingly to the same bottom line you were talking about. Like, everybody's responding to a bottom line. These people that are in politics or whatever, I'm not overgeneralizing all of them, but a good fucking majority know the game they're playing and they're trying to meet the bottom line. And we talked about this a few episodes ago when I was here. The younger generation is privy. They understand. They're harder to manipulate. They're sharing information. They're not about that shit. And every time I'm finding that they are seeing, oh, there's a new artist. What are they about? What do they care about? They want to fucking know your values and if you're going to stand in them. And we're holding politicians now accountable the same way. So I think all of this, like, get out of like whatever Italy is doing or whoever's doing what. At this point, I'm paying attention to the consistency in your morality and how you speak up about it and how firmly you stand in that, no matter who the fuck you are and where you live.
Doesn't matter who the F you are, says Amel Khalil. I like that very much. So let's shift to V's favorite topic, the Epstein files.
Yeah.
V spent 13 hours going through it. I was seeing the videos, they were coming up. And at some point you stop. But is there something that corporate media, and they miss everything, is there something that really jumped out at you that's not getting the attention it deserves?
So I did 13 consecutive hours, which I don't think anybody should do. And then if you watch the videos I made after that, I am like not well. So I had to take a break and be like, I think I'm like 2 in the Matrix. I was looking like Charlie with the red. Oh my God, it was a mess. So then I took like a break for a minute and then have been looking at essentially the broad and overarching systemic issues that we can learn from the Epstein files. I think Tara Palmieri, Julie K. Brown, Vicky Ward have done an incredible job exposing the sex crimes, but that is a very small part of the overall Epstein universe of what was going on. So what I've come to find here is a lot of folks want to say, oh, Epstein was Mossad. That's an easy one. Epstein was actually very deeply connected to Russia. A lot of the girls that he trafficked came from Russia and that area of the world. Many of the journalists that he met, like Nellie Bowles, who is married to Barry Weiss, who is now the head of CBS, came to him through an introduction of a Russian teenage propagandist that is very close to Putin. And I think what we need to look at is, yes, we need justice for the victims of the sex crimes because that is egregious and horrible, horrible stuff. And we need to be looking at, is there anything that is prosecutable currently when it comes to the men in power who are still operating with impunity? I mean, Leslie Groff, Jeffrey's assistant for 20 years, lives in peace in New Canaan, Connecticut, and has never been. She's on all the emails. She certainly knew what was going on to some level, in my opinion. That's what I'm seeing. Why aren't we prosecuting her for
just like Diddy's crew knew what was going on? Like his crew know what's going on.
We hear about Larry Summers, but we're not hearing enough about Nicole Junkerman, right, who is a German businesswoman and entrepreneur, early investor in Palantir and Bitcoin. We just did a piece on her today, which I'm actually really scared of, but we have to be brave. And like what was going on in those big levels? The fact that Bill Gates, chief technology officer, deeply connected to Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein deeply connected to gene editing through MIT and work that was being done at Harvard. It makes me, then when I got in my crazy, I was like, is this why Trump shut down the funding for Harvard and MIT? Because they could have found out what Jeffrey Epstein was doing with gene editing and selective breeding of humans and all this shit. It's like craziness. That's the stuff that we're working on.
Yeah, you were too far in the Matrix. That's too many levels in one day. That's too many levels in one day, babe.
Alex has some prop he's going to show us right now. I like this. Very nice.
See?
Of course, we are radio,
It's
but
the board. It's the board. I got
Alex
the
has
red
Homeland,
string and
Carrie
the cord.
Matheson board.
No, I know. I haven't updated this in a while though, but this is really just pointing out, like what Via's talking about, a few different
like
things.
this.
For me, a big highlight of it though is how many layers of both parts of the Trump administration were involved with Jeffrey Epstein directly. I mean, there was a Benny Johnson, who is a propagandist who works on behalf of the White House. Benny Johnson posted a picture of himself with Kid Rock and RFK Jr. And he said, look, just 3 guys who aren't in the Epstein files. That tweet actually got community noted by Twitter because they were like, RFK Jr. is mentioned repeatedly in the Epstein files. Not only is he mentioned in the Epstein files, but he wrote on the plane multiple times. You look at Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary. He was Epstein's next door neighbor. There's just so many different layers on it, and so that's why I think this entire thing has been laughable. When it comes to the foreign aspects of it, when we're looking at all these different things, I think at the end of the day, and this is my personal theory, that Jeffrey Epstein was a power broker when it comes down to things. I think it's a matter of whether or not he worked with the CIA, Mossad, Russia, or any of these other different things. I think what it really came down to is, how can I get more money? How can I get more power? Who can I blackmail more? And how can I keep the party rolling? The part that really gets me incensed and really crazy is looking at the cover-up that we're seeing that's happening right now with this particular White House Department of Justice, in particular, FBI and more. The fact that Todd Blanche, who was the president's personal lawyer, who is the assistant attorney general, went on Fox News and said, and I quote, "It's not a crime to party with Jeffrey Epstein," unquote. I think that is the most telling, evil statement that has been stated in a very long time directly to camera. Because sure, you can go and look at that blanket statement, but every Epstein party was a crime. We don't have proof that there was ever an Epstein party where there wasn't a series of federal crimes that were happening all at the same exact time. We have, going through the emails, the fact is that we have to keep in mind is that there is a massive cover-up happening by the dumbest, laziest people on earth, because everyone who is touching these documents can quickly unredact them, put the pieces back together. They've had how many years to cover this shit up? They had how many years? The government was shut down for how many months? And they waited until the very last second to try to slow walk the release of these documents. And they've been trying to dump them at rates, again, to distract people from their other distractions that are distractions of this. The reason why Renee Good and Alex Pearlman were murdered in Minneapolis were because Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and Kristi Noem decided to make the Somali story a big deal over Christmas, because that way they were afraid that Republican families would be sitting at home over Christmas talking about the revelations from the 1% drop of the Epstein files. And so then when that got too far, then they decided to drop this group. And then they're going to drop another one again, and they're going to keep going on all of this. I did an interview with Ro Khanna about it when we were still waiting for this group of files to come out. We are beyond impeachable offenses here. And I think the biggest thing that I'm seeing from more and more people is we are getting to the area where the norm, the middle consensus, the center of the Democratic Party at least, is there has to be prosecutions. We are beyond this bullshit that they had in 2016 of lock her up. We're in the I want full investigations. Who is covering things up? How do we take away their pensions? How do we make sure these people never get jobs again? How do we make sure these people don't end up working in schools? Because if they were willing to cover up this level of a decade worth of child trafficking, then I don't even want them to be able to work at a college, which is where a lot of them end up after their government jobs.
Yeah, I interviewed Lisa Phillips, one of the survivors. It was really great. And I had her on my show earlier this week. And, when she was on before, she talked about this is the international blackmail ring. And people weren't talking about it. Now it comes out a little bit, but you still don't see it framed that way. And she said, look, they felt good about the progress they made, but it was very painful. She was almost in tears because so many victims that she knew who had been children when they were raped, their names are uncovered, but all the men's names are covered up, even in the statements. So they were much more concerned with protecting the powerful men than they were with the victims. And I said to Lisa, what do you think? She goes, of course that's true. She's like, yes, that's all they cared about. This is the reality of it. So they still have a lot of pain. And why they want the documents is because healing. They said it's going to help them heal on that and accountability. I'm not sure if they've given up on accountability because they know the rich and powerful in America tend not to go to jail, but they want healing. That's for sure. I wish they could have accountability. The statute of limitations for raping children is open. In most states you can prosecute. And I saw on your board was Pam Bondi. I wrote about Pam Bondi. She was AG in Florida when Jeffrey Epstein was raping kids and children. She made prosecuting child predators one of her top things. She prosecuted a lot. Never investigated Jeffrey Epstein, never, because the powerful men involved fund her campaign, and on the right and the left, whoever they were. I mean, that's the reality. So the Clintons are going to testify now. We'll see if anything comes of that, but
we'll see if it's on camera. I think that's where the fight is right now, is whether or not it's going to be televised or not. I think in that case, I was talking to, I do a podcast, Crashing Out with Phil DeFranco, and we were discussing that. And I think the big thing on there is whether or not this is going to be, quote, good TV or good clips. That's what that would end up being the fight of over there. I think the Clintons are a little bit older, and so they kind of drag things out. They aren't going to make the hot clip that'll go viral on Instagram or TikTok or Twitter in particular.
Very interesting. Emma, before we go to a break, I mean, what's your reaction? We're seeing all these women, all these victims, the survivors, their names are everywhere. They're being re-traumatized. It's no doubt that's what they're saying. And every single man who was involved, and there's over 1,000 victims, not once charged. And Todd Blanche said there's nothing in there, the DAJ, Deputy AG, there's no evidence to prove that, to file charges. How could there not be evidence? You have over 1,000 victims. You told us that in a memo last year. And now there's victims, so they're victims with no perpetrators. I've never seen this. I'm a lawyer. You just got to have a perpetrator. What do you think, my friend? It's just a cover-up that will continue. We'll never get the truth.
I think something that Alex, you said really piques my interest, in that they're being so lazy about the cover-up and how they're going about this. And what it is I think they got used to the level of pushback that society will give. And they're watching us, just like all data that they aggregate and study, and they have a bottom line too. They're seeing how violently or not violently we respond to the egregious nature of their consistent behavior and their cover-ups. So they're going to keep doing it as long as we're sitting calm about it. That's I think the victims, survivors of these fucking people, same thing as being a survivor of any other kind of trauma, being Palestinian, you're gonna get re-triggered. We live in the matrix. They are in control. So we do have to talk to each other and build power together and fucking move in unison. That's the second thing. And then lastly, we have to be more angry that they're consistently insulting our intelligence. They are lazy because they think we're dumb, and they're not realizing the new generation of people meeting up with older generations that are fucking privy to how people should be treated. We're syncing up and we're like, no, you check that. F these people. They're just insulting our intelligence, and we need to be angrier. That's where I sit with this in our comedy session.
Feel free to curse whenever you want. It's SiriusXM. Let's take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to continue because Donald, I mean, there's just so much. There's so much to talk about, from Donald Trump posting a picture of the Obamas, his apes, which I can't even, it's even hard to say out loud because I'm like, doesn't really make any sense to me, but that's exactly what happened. To him wanting to have Penn Station here in New York named after Trump, which would have been, people would have climbed up to urinate on his name. Let's take a break. We'll come right back with more of what just happened right after this. And welcome back. We're continuing what just happened here, February 6th. All three people are stuck around. Alex didn't leave. Alex Pearlman, V Spehar, and Amel Khalil are back. So let's talk about this silly thing we learned from reporting from last night from Punchbowl News, that Trump went to Chuck Schumer. And I bet you Chuck contemplated it, but he went to Chuck Schumer and said, name Penn Station after me and Dulles Airport, and I'll give $16 billion back to New York and Jersey that I froze to build a tunnel that they need for trafficking. And it's insane. And so Trump he has a new thing this week, the Trump RX, Trump prescription. His name is on everything. So look, Trump's going to demand this. I want Democrats to pledge that if we get power again, and one day I think we will while we're still alive, everything with his name on it, gone. Everything, every reference to him, every picture in the White House, gone. Any state building with his name on it, we don't fund your state. Like, you got to go out there. We're going to have a big bonfire and burn every Trump thing we can find. This is outrageous bullshit. The man is a corrupt guy who incited a terrorist attack. He should be in a prison cell. This is beyond me.
The fact that
Dean triggered himself in this moment.
I just triggered myself. God damn it.
Well, I
sorry,
mean, he started
you
it with putting his name on the JFK Memorial, which is like bad karma to put your living person's name on a memorial to another person.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, he's constantly talking about how he doesn't think he's going to get in heaven. He might get in heaven. We've got a bunch of people on TikTok predicting his death in the next 3 to 6 months, whether it's the Etsy wishes or the geriatric doctor people saying that this looks like how it's going. I think Trump's whole thing is he's so afraid he's not going to be remembered. And I promise you, you will be in history's books as one of the worst fucking persons to ever live or grace this earth. So you don't have to worry about that. But he just it's like stolen valor somehow. Like the Penn Station is actually named, isn't it like Moynihan Station technically?
Well,
it's
Daniel P.
named for the
Moynihan
guy.
Station is the other right. That's the
other
beautiful
part.
new one. It's gleaming and beautiful.
I'm just
that's what I
saying,
used to
like,
go.
it's stolen valor all across the board. Like, what did the Dulles brothers ever do to you? Like, why do you want to take their name off of it? Why? And why in D.C.? I could see if he wanted to name like the stupid little Palm Beach private airport that he and his pedophile friends like fly into Trump Airport. That tracks. But why Dulles Airport? It's bad enough, right? Nobody wants to go to Dulles. Why name it for yourself? But
You can't say Reagan Airport because he can't say Reagan Airport because Republicans would push
They'll go
back
nuts.
on renaming the Reagan Airport.
But I think he's just out there trying to put his name on as much as possible because, like a greedy child, he wants to try and just consume everything so that other people can't have it. This is very much what Hitler did towards the end of his life as well, when he called for the coal mines to be flooded and for the trains to be destroyed and for infrastructure projects to be canceled because he knew he was going to kill himself. And he was like, well, then I want the rest of Germany to suffer too. There should be nothing good without me. Or without me, they should immediately feel the lack of my presence or the loss of my leadership or whatever the hell Hitler thought he was giving the German people. And Trump is the exact same way. And I'm not saying Trump is Hitler. I'm saying this is a narcissistic, lunatic, sociopath, brain damaged thing to do.
You gotta healthy hug your kids, people. This is what
hug your kids.
Is this all about not raising a child correctly? Is that what you're saying, Emma?
Healthy hugs. Yeah. I think if they got the love and nurturing that they needed, I don't think they'd be out here searching for hell on earth.
Yeah.
That's Mary Trump, was a friend of mine. In her first book, it was all about the father. And the father was horrible to everyone, to her dad, to Donald, and stuff like that. I mean, look, I'm open for naming a prison after Donald Trump. I'm named after a law after Donald Trump that you can indict a sitting president. There are things I'm for naming him, but not this. What do you think?
Let's name the prison after him and then abolish the prison.
There you go.
That would be Alex. So how do we deal with this? I like that very much. Like you name it and then we tear it down while he's in it. That's kind of fun.
Well, I think the first thing we do is we get rid of Chuck. That's my view of it.
Chuck Schumer?
That's always going to be my view of it because this is not a serious offer, and only this is something that's being offered to him. Trump is offering this because he doesn't respect Chuck, and he actually thinks that if Chuck is stupid enough to even think about it for a second, like there's no Democrat in America that's an actual Democrat or anyone on the left who wants to see anything else named after Donald Trump, that they want to see any party favor handed to him, whether it be a fake trophy from FIFA or this arch he wants to build down in D.C. or any of these other different monuments to the fact that, that Stormy Daniels said that it looked like a toadstool. Like any of these different things when you put together. And the thing is like, these are definitely, it's the same thing when Chuck and Hakeem went to go negotiate in the White House and they sat there with on the table, there were hats that said Trump 2028, because again, he doesn't respect them. These aren't people he is afraid of. He was, listen, I'd say what you will about Nancy Pelosi. Trump was actually afraid of Nancy Pelosi. He's never been afraid of Chuck. No one's afraid of Hakeem Jeffries. He can stand there with his impotent little bat all he wants. And this is just part of that gets me. And I am begging for Democratic leadership. I've been saying it since Chuck caved on the shutdown, that please, anyone else, any other name, just a name change is enough. When you look at brands, when brands go bad, like with Comcast, they started calling themselves Xfinity.
Did he rename himself 19 times?
Right.
Yeah,
exactly. He renamed himself,
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But I mean, just to me, I think Trump is going to try this. He's like a raptor when it comes to trying to find where the edge of polite society is and where the Overton window is sitting at any time. But I think that this is just an ultimate disgrace and a spit in the face of Chuck Schumer, who, if he was competent, would understand that.
Right.
Because he should be going to the female governors of New Jersey and New York. Like, wouldn't it technically really be Kathy Hochul and Mikey Sherrill's decision to allow the naming of something in their states, because it goes to the gateway funding, which is the bridge between New Jersey and New York. You'd think it would be them and not the New York state senator who would make the decision. Wouldn't it also be the governor of Virginia to rename the airport? Like, what does Chuck Schumer have to do with any of this, actually?
Well, it's all about funding, I guess. I mean, on some level, I've talked to Mikey Sherrill when she was a candidate, and after she won, I said, look, and I say this to Governor Murphy all the time, you have the power of eminent domain. Just take the golf course in Bedford.
Take the golf course.
Take the golf. Put like a big exit. Oh, we got to put a new parkway ramp.
New jug handle. New jug handle. Jersey loves a jug handle.
I wanted the New Jersey Turnpike exit ramp. We have a new exit 12B.
Be careful what we're saying about Jersey right now. This is leaning into, we're about to make fun of Jersey, and you got a Jersey girl in the room.
Oh,
I just want
Jersey. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about using the power of the government to seize his golf course. This is ridiculous. We can't get like the same way I told Governor Shapiro.
Dogs out there first. Allegedly, he's buried all kinds of people out there. You're right about that.
Alex, by the way, a couple years ago, and I had Governor Shapiro on a few times, and I said, after you stole Saquon Barkley, you Eagles, like, we're going to build a wall. You steal any more Giants, we're building a wall between Pennsylvania and New Jersey. So look, we're all.
You might have to pick a new team. Speaking of the Epstein files, though, because Steve Tisch is all up in there.
He's in trouble. I know. Well,
hey, Josh Harris is in there too. That's for the Philadelphia 76ers and for the Commanders.
Yeah,
I think Jalen Hurts is in it too. I've heard. No, he's not. I'm kidding.
No, Jalen Hurts is not in there. All right, because Jalen Hurts knows.
I'm just taking a shot at the Eagles.
No, Jalen Hurts has an all-female team, and he knows to listen to women first, and he also knows when to leave a party. Yes. All right, I've heard many times about Jalen Hurts showing up, looking around, going, "No, this is getting weird," and just leaving immediately because he knows it's smarter to go home and watch tape and listen to soul music from the '70s than it is to hang out till 3 a.m. Yep. Bill Gates gonna learn something.
There are some. I wish that we could just say a lot of NFC East stars who aren't the Giants are in the Epstein files, so they have to be thrown off their team. Like, no, V found them. Page 1,920.
Well, I wonder if Jerry Jones sent in an email, like an Elon-style email. Please let me in.
Probably.
Oh, God. So, all right, we only have a few minutes. I want to touch on something that's preemptive because it's fun. The Bad Bunny freakout that's coming. It's already coming. Because the Republicans, they have their turning point, as people online are calling it, Methapalooza, to counter program Bad Bunny, because he's performing in Spanish and it's driving them crazy. They got Kid Rock and 3 other white people. It's like segregation today, tomorrow, and forever. This is we're not going to watch the brown people. We got whites only over here at TPUSA. V, what's going on? I mean, it's like a joke. They're not even subtle. They didn't even pick anybody of color unless they're going to add somebody.
Nicki Minaj? You couldn't get. I mean, Nicki's on the doll right now. She could have done it for you.
It's the show's called Whites Only. We the white people.
I just can't.
Because even they know don't nobody want to watch Nicki perform. Like that means nobody's bottom line.
Never. How could they air her lyrics? They'd freak out. But Kid Rock. I mean, come on, man. Like, wrap it up, okay? Kid Rock is also a nepo baby who cosplays as the poor, so I understand why they think that he relates. But his performances have been going downhill significantly, and he's just such a character. And the thing that aggravated me the most is when JD Vance is like, Bob. Oh, I mean, Kid Rock. First of all, you're such a fucking loser. You think it's cool that you get to call Kid Rock Bob? Like, that's so stupid.
Oh, my God.
Unless it's Bob De Niro. Embarrassing. They're humiliating. And Kid Rock's out there. You know what I'm going to do? This is going to be my new look. I'm going to start dressing like Kid Rock, and I'm going to make it lesbian fashion. I'm going to get a big eagle belt buckle, and I'm going to start doing. Yeah, we're all dressing like Post Malone and Kid Rock right now.
I like that very much.
Taking it back.
Emma, are you looking forward to the freak out when the Bad Bunny songs are on and he's going to sing in Spanish and the next day, like, America's over, the Super Bowl? I mean, Green Day's singing some songs, I imagine, in English, but it'd be great if Billy Joe sings in Spanish too, just to fuck them up.
But even Green Day singing, they're so anti-Trump to put them on also. I think the NFL is like, whoever is running entertainment for the NFL is like, yes. Like, who's going to sing the national anthem? That's what we need to see. Is it going to be Billie Eilish?
It's for chaos. Yes. Like, they should bring Fergie back just for chaos. Like, let's see if she could do a good job.
Emel, does it bring you any joy? It brings me joy to watch Mag get triggered by this kind of stuff. Like, they're going to sing in Spanish. They're going to do all these ICE jokes. I should be the guy's born in Puerto Rico. He's a U.S. citizen by birth, but doesn't matter. They're dumb.
Yeah.
What do you think, Emel?
Are you not a U.S. citizen at all? So.
Oh, I read that. So, I mean, I wonder how it's going to play out. How much backlash and freaking out do you expect? How much triggered by MAGA from Bad Bunny?
I am enjoying the amount of chaos that is ensuing right now, watching the higher ups try to figure out how to balance the beiges exactly right to not get like this is fun for me because as a again Palestinian who the dam hadn't broken my whole life and I was living in this crazy world and I'm like, this is not the world, y'all don't know yet, everybody knows yet. And so it's just kind of like from where I'm sitting, this sucks, and I'm on team revolution, but it's just like I feel like I can take a break and go, what the fuck is happening today? What happened that I can just watch right now?
I grew up, I was on, because I'm half white, half brown, because I'm half Arab. And I grew up on Team White, but I've joined Team Brown because I know where this is going. I'm like, I'm with you, brown people. It's over.
One more thing about Kid Rock, though, because it bears
Bob?
Between Bob, it bears repeating that the man has lyrics in his songs that are about underage girls. Young ladies, I like them underage. See, some say that's statutory, but I say it's mandatory. This is your singer?
That's Kid Rock, everybody.
That's Kid Rock.
Jeff performed at the Jeffrey Epstein party. You have him here at Super Bowl. Alex, but we only got like a minute left. I don't want everyone to chance to plug this up, but what's your reaction to, are you looking forward to the freakout or the Bad Whitey performance? Like what's going on?
No, I'm looking forward to I really like Bad Bunny. I've really, because like of TikTok, and my wife loves going down to Puerto Rico and everything else. She has Puerto Rican family. So we've been listening to Bad Bunny for a very long time. So I'm really, really looking forward to this performance. Also, he's been in the Super Bowl before. He did the J-Lo Super Bowl. Like, he's done these things. I think there's been a lot of, from Facebook especially, there's been a lot of like bullshit they put out there, again, to distract from other things. This entire time with the Epstein stuff, they've been trying to cancel Billie Eilish and scream that Bad Bunny's going to wear a dress. It's a distraction within a distraction. And for anybody who says that they're going to watch Kid Rock over the Bad Bunny performance because Bad Bunny's going to sing in Spanish, I'm going to quote to you some Kid Rock lyrics real fast. Ball with the ball, to bang, diggy, diggy, diggy said the boogie, said up, drop the boogie. So if you think that's better than Spanish, then I have a big old bag of meth for you.
That's excellent.
To enjoy.
Metapalooza. I'm looking forward to TT Me Pregunto. That's the one song of Bad Bunny that I really like. That song.
And real fast, Dean, I just can't believe you didn't want to give it up for Brantley Gilbert, Lee Bryce, and Gabby Barrett. I mean, Brantley Gilbert, he has such hits like I've Never Heard of You, and Who Is This? And Is This AI?
Those are the other people performing for Kid Rock. They're the opening acts for Kid Rock. I looked them up. I'm like, one of them's got to be black or brown. Nope. They're not even trying.
Brantley Gilbert is a name that was invented in a Mormon name generator. This is the craziest shit I've ever.
The other performers, three others, all have first names: Gilbert, Brantley, Lee Bryce, Gabby Barrett. Like these are like. All right, before we run out of time, Emma, where can people follow your work?
Instagram, Amel MK.
MLK. All right, my friend. V, what about you? You have a million places. Where can they go?
It's just at Under the Desk News, wherever you get your social medias. And then on Substack, underthedesknews.substack.com.
And my friend Alex.
Yeah, the best thing is I have a podcast called Crashing Out with Phil DeFranco and Alex Pearlman on YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts. Another one called Too Many Tabs I do with my wife. We've been doing it for a very long time. Really enjoy it. Everything is under Pearlmania 500. You can find me pretty easily.
I want to thank you all. And Alex joined late, and he still got the most words in because he's amazing. That's Alex Pearlman. Thank you guys, all three.